CBS 46 News presents Public Affairs on Peach.
Good morning to you. Welcome to Public Affairs on Peach. I'm your host, Adam Murphy. Today's show is all about women in recognition of Women's History Month. But right now, new members show on average that women continue to earn less than men. Here in Atlanta, Mayor Kasim Reed wants to ensure women who work for the city get equal pay. Here's CBS 46's Sharita Irves with the story.
Deborah Fowler is a construction maintenance worker for Atlanta's Public Works Department. She fills potholes. Mayor Kasim Reed wants to make sure Deborah and all the other female employees who work for the city of Atlanta receive equal pay for equal work.
We do as hard as work as males, and I think that's a good idea that the mayor is thinking of us.
The Institute for Women's Policy Research looked at statistics nationwide. The Institute says in 2013, female full-time workers made only 78 cents for every dollar earned by men, a gender gap of 22%.
As far as coming to work, having a busy day, stressful day, whatever, and then have to go home and take care of kids, do homework, and cook dinner and stuff like that. It's a lot on a woman.
The city says a consultant firm will research the salaries of all city employees and identify pay disparities between men and women. Commissioner Yvonne Yancey will oversee the process. So right now, do all women who work for the city of Atlanta receive equal pay for equal work?
But we're hiring a consultant, which is the other part of the resolution, to ensure that we in fact are doing that.
Okay. So you're not sure right now?
Well, currently we have very clear compensation guidelines that we've adhered to over many, many years.
Now, if the research finds that there are any pay disparities, Yancey says they will present a set of recommendations for the council to consider. Now, one woman who knows all about women getting their fair share, this lady right here, Susan Packard. Thank you for being on the show. And I've got your new book, New Rules of the Game, 10 Strategies for Women in the Workplace.
Hi.
First, thank you for being on the program, Susan.
Glad to be
Tell
here.
me why you wrote this book and what it's all about.
Well, Adam, I have been working informally with women over my whole 30-year career, coaching and mentoring. I left corporate America 4 years ago, and a friend of mine who writes business books said, Susan, you might want to tell your story in a book because you're one of the few women who made it to the C-suite of a big, successful company. And so I thought that might make sense, and I put it all together into this book.
So how sweet is that C-suite?
It can be sweet if you're surrounded by colleagues who are sweet also.
Exactly.
I was surrounded by the other founders of HGTV, and they were all men, but they were very supportive, collaborative men, and I was very fortunate that way.
What's your secret to success? How did you get to the C-suite?
Well, I don't think there's one secret, but one of the most important things that I try to bring out in the book is that it's trickier for women than men to get into positions of advancement in corporate America because our likability is at issue. So success and likability is a positive thing for men. Success and likability is negatively correlated with women. As we advance, it's trickier. And that, there are all kinds of reasons for that. Tradition, culture, we've always been in supporting roles. It doesn't really matter why. The important thing is to think about it, and in the book I try to provide some solutions.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that women are qualified. Maybe, like you said, it's a cultural thing. It's been that way. Men are going to run this company. But really, and I know, working in corporate situations, that some of the best leaders are women.
Absolutely. And I wish I would have had more female role models. Unfortunately, I did not. So I hope that I can provide some of that modeling for women coming along.
So what advice do you give women that are getting started, that aspire to be a leader in their company, whether that is the CEO or working in the C-suite or in management or something along those lines? Well,
if they're just getting out into business, I talk to them about certain skills like getting operating experience as opposed to staff experience, because operating roles will lead to advancement more quickly. Getting a little finance knowledge. I didn't have any finance knowledge until I got into business, and I learned it on the job. You can learn it. So women getting in, I talk about those kinds of things. Women who are in middle management, I talk about the importance of emotional maturity. So you move from a manager into leadership when you gain some emotional maturity.
Elaborate for me, if you will, about emotional maturity. What do you mean by that?
I mean that you move from a mindset which is me to we.
Okay.
And it's really, you know, as women, it's hard for us to navigate the workplace, and so we have to take care of ourselves. Pay equity is one of those important components. So we get into a position of leadership, and we've done a lot of me because we've had to survive. That's when you need to start thinking about, you know, you're managing a lot of people's lives. And it's very important that you think about that and you take care of those people.
Yeah, it's my understanding internationally women are losing out on $9 trillion, which they'd earn if they were paid equally to men. Is that right?
Yes, that's what I understand as well.
That is amazing. That's a large number right there.
It sure is. And it gets back to women having an ability and a confidence to be able to talk to their supervisors about pay equity. And in a lot of that, I talk about that in the book. I devote many pages in the book to how do you do that? How do you do that comfortably? What data do you need to have? And I think if you're equipped with all of that, you can be successful.
We're taking a look right now at your Facebook page, which you have some of these strategies and advice and so forth on your page, which they can look you up and find more about that.
Yep.
Probably find out about your book as well, right?
Yes.
And this book is at bookstores or online, right?
Both.
Okay, so in both places. Now, one of the things I want to ask you about, you call workplace goals gameship. Is that right?
Gamesmanship.
Gamesmanship.
Right, right. So what I'm talking about is because men have been in leadership positions since time began, the rules of business have been created and sort of institutionalized by men. And they see the workplace largely as a team sport. And that it's a big playing field with a lot of men and women running around on it. So in the book, I try to provide this new lens for the reader to see the workplace in a similar light so they understand when they collaborate with men or compete with men what's going on.
So we have about 30 seconds, Susan. Tell me what those tips are for a gamemanship that you talked about. I think we have some information such as learn to play offense.
Right, right. So there are 10 chapters, 10 strategies, but a few of them would be composure, the importance of carrying yourself with grace. That's one of them. Playing offense, learning how to ask for things. Those are a couple of them.
Susan Packard, thank you so much, and great work here on the book. And
thank you,
good
Adam.
luck with everything, and great advice too.
I appreciate
for so
that.
many women in the workplace. Now, coming up, are you ready to dream big? We have just the woman, and to help you realize your dream, details on a free seminar coming up next, right after the break here on Public Affairs on Peach.